Here's what the player had to say when submitting their review. It was hard to decide what to pick, but I did well in this game, but we still lost. I'm trying to figure out how we could have won. One thing I struggle with especially is dealing with ult stacking. I start to panic when the enemy team starts popping all their ults at one time and wiping. As a Magik player, dealing with ranged characters is especially frustrating, and this game had a Star-Lord, which is one of Magik's counters. I couldn't really decide who to focus on. Could you help? As always, if you like your gameplay reviewed, make sure you head to that highlighted comment down below, reply to that comment with the information that I asked for, and you could have your gameplay reviewed. If you are a member, you do get priority, so your review will be reviewed first. Now, we do see Luna Snow right now, but this player does end up switching to Magik. I really hate Magik. No, I personally I hate that character, but bias aside, we are here to help you out. I got you back like a butt crack. Let's roll. So we're going to be playing Luna. Let's see what we got. This is like a really odd spot. I don't really like having, there's some areas that are just really awkward, right? This is one of them. It's just such an awkward area. And especially when you have a group or you're against one. So a lot of the times when you play healer, this is a platinum game, by the way. A lot of the times when you play healer, you want to be as safe as possible. I know you're trying to do damage and whatnot, but you also want to be in a position where you can't get picked off. When you end up in spots that they can see you, kind of like this one, they can kind of see it. You could just get ran up on, and you have to be very, very careful. So like, where would you stand in a situation like that, right? Well, you should be able to heal still from here, right? This is a good spot. Now you could be just gone onto from here, but by the time they even get to that doorway, you're gonna see them and you should be able to dip around this way or something like that. You could stand there, but just be very careful that they don't collapse, because if they do collapse really quickly, you will be caught in that crossfire. You could also stand somewhere right here, and as they decide to, like right here, and then as they decide to push in, kind of edge your way this way. It's very hard to play on this map, and I'm not really blaming you at all, but just kind of think about where can you stand and be in a more creative spot, so that way you're not in a position. You're doing a good job backing up, so, but you can see how you can see what I meant. Like if they decide to bum rush you, you end up KO'd, which is exactly what your cloak and dagger just did. So that's exactly what I wanted to prevent. You obviously noticed this and you moved. Very good. They capture a point, unfortunately. We have 3 tanks? We have no damage. We need damage. The only damage that we have on our team is Star-Lord, and that's really only if he plays well. So this isn't really that good. We're gonna fast forward through this because you're not winning. You guys need to start swapping, because there's no way we're winning this. This is why I don't really like running 3 healers or 3 tanks, because people generally don't know when. Especially in Platinum. Like, man, I don't know what it is. Platinum players just try to do the most. So we ult here. The thing about this is the fight's already over. There's no reason to ult. So if you want to learn your ult management, the best thing to do when you want to ult is to think about, is the fight over already? Can we get any value out of this ult? If you can get value out of the ult, ult. If you can't, don't. It takes practice, but you'll get it. Okay, she ults. So does your cloak and dagger. You can be a little bit more up because she just ulted, so you can walk forward too. Not only does this allow you to, you have to be careful not getting one shot, of course, but it's very rare that you do by anything in healer ults unless they are just on point. But you walking forward will psychologically tell this guy to walk back, because there's going to be a lot of characters in front of his screen. So you can also probably get some KOs. Again, what I was talking about, when you want to find better positions to not just be collapsed on like this will happen a lot. And so as a support, you need to get a little bit more creative about where you're standing. A good spot you could stand is just hit this, and you stand up, right? And you can do exactly what you were doing from here. And then you don't get clobbered. Or take this, poop, pop yourself over here, bam, shemalam, stem here. Right? And then just kind of peek yourself over when you need to heal. Just get a little bit more creative where you're positioning as a support. As I said, we need to swap off a 3. Okay, we did. We swapped off a 3 tanks, because I was like, that was not the play at all. We're gonna continue to move forward until you get to Magik. So I'm not gonna speak too much on support, although obviously it's still a good thing to learn. but I'm gonna try to get to the Magik. Hey, we're just chilling. Remember, when you use your ult, you want to think about, is the fight over? Will we get value out of the ult? And so we'll pay attention to your ult usage right now. We see Star-Lord ult already, so we should not ult, right? Because this should be a one fight. He already got a pick. Good. There's no reason to ult. You're really far back now to the point where you can't even see anything. So you could even stand here if you want. You just do the exact same thing from here. Should you need to run, you have an escape. Boop, 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 boop. Hug this wall. Boop, 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 boop. You know, get creative. Really know the layout of the map when you play. And you want to get to high ranks, you have to know like the layout of the map like crazy. Okay, so we ulted late. Right? If we were gonna ult, we should have ulted when he just set his clapper in time. When you play support, the best thing to do is think about the characters that are ult worthy. So what I mean by that is, what characters should you ult to prevent them from doing what they want to do? If we look at the lineup, this is one, this is another, this is another. This one's kind of iffy. It really just depends on the circumstance. If it's in like if it's in a small quarter, you might need to ult that. But for the most part, I probably wouldn't. I'd probably just take that one to the face and just heal it up. But these three right here are who you need to focus on. We need to mindfully wait to use our ults for that. This is what we call defensive ults. Yes, you can use offensive. Yes, you can use ults offensively, but there's not really a reason to on your team. Nobody needs it. Like an offensive ult would be Winter Soldiers. If you ult when he ults, he's able to continue to do his thing without taking any damage. I'm not saying you do that every single time, but you know, it's just something to think about. That's what I was talking about in terms of ulting with someone who wants to go on the offensive. Okay, just pretty much getting ran over now. I'm gonna skip a little bit ahead because we still are playing support. But we want to get to the Magik. Is Magik on this round? Okay, now we're gaming. So we're playing Magik now. I hate Magik, but you know, I'm not gonna be biased, I promise. So what we want to do is just find a better spot to approach from. We could have easily just walked here. Walk around, come out of that door right there. Walk around, go here, and make our way to the right. You can even come out of here, make our way to the right, but basically you want to try doing so without being caught. This could have been a fight you could have been a part of, and you could have KO'd that guy and got a pick because you did what you were supposed to do, which is going the sneaky-ish type route and playing at that angle. There you go. You could have had that earlier and your Iron Man didn't have to KO. So now instead of being at an advantage, you're at a disadvantage. Again, you're trying to go from the front. You want to try to play these characters from the sides or behind. If I were to throw a ball at you, right? If I threw it at you right now, you would see me throw it. What are you going to do? You're going to move or you're going to catch it, right? If I throw it to you from the side, you might see it if you have really good peripherals, but you might not. It's 50-50. If I throw it at you from behind, you're going to get hit 100% of the time. You're not going to be able to react to it because you can't see it. You are the ball. Why are we coming at them from the front or the sides? Well, this is pretty much the front. This is just them overextending. So why are we coming at them from the front when we could go and come at them from the back? From right here. It's only a few steps. All right, boom, boom. Hop up here on this. Go. You might not be able to make that jump. I actually do not know. But you definitely can dash and use a cooldown and get there. And then now you're chilling. Hang out here till your cooldowns come back and then just see if you could pick anybody. Be more creative. It's kind of the same as even you're playing support. If you're not as creative enough and you end up in bad situations when you aren't. Going in and try to fight without your team is not going to really do much. You could, if you really want, you can even go this way too. Like if you really want to psychologically mess with them, you can come this way. Then they'll see you. Right, but coming straight down the middle with your team isn't going to be the way. I wonder when you end up getting a pick in general. What got the pick? Oh, he portals. That makes more sense. Look how much Look how impactful this is coming from behind or from the side. The only reason you did it was because the Strange portaled you there, but you could have done that yourself and walked yourself there and had the same impact. Use that. It's very powerful. And a lot of the times too, when you're playing Magik, you can one-shot somebody and they can't react to it. It's even better for you to come from behind or come from the side because they can't deal with you. You end up losing that fight anyway. It's mainly because we're just in the fight and staying in the fight. Magik is one of those characters, along with Iron Fist, Black Panther, Spider-Man, and I always say this, that you can get around the fundamentals of the game because the characters are so strong. They're so game breaking. But when you get to a rank where players know how to deal with those characters, you're going to miss out and probably have a hard time winning because you didn't learn the fundamentals. The fundamentals of a character like this is to come from the side or from behind, but we're not doing that. So we got to this rank just kind of doing what we're doing now, but you can't really fight in the middle. You need to go in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. Go for a target, get that target, in and out, in and out. That's how you should be playing. And as you go out, so as you go in, do your combo, see if you can get another one and another one. And if not, then you need to peace out. So let's see your next fight. Okay, not that one. Not that one. Not that one. But your next fight. Okay, here we go. That's a clone, is it not? Okay, that was unnecessary. You should have definitely... Oh, I know why you were waiting. It wasn't specifically for the clone. It was just so you didn't get ulted by Star-Lord. Okay, because I was like, I don't... That wasn't a good usage of your time. All right, this is a good example. No, it's not, because you stopped fighting. I'm trying to see when you get the KO. Very passive. You see how you're playing in the front the entire time? I'm not going to keep beating a dead horse, basically. But you don't do this. Don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. Come from angles, come from behind. You will see a drastic increase of your gameplay. So let's just say right now, we go in, we assess the situation here. Do we stay in or do we go out? Well, Mantis ulted us and Strange is about to ult. Also, your thing just ulted. So this would tell me in that split second, I can stay in. Okay, right now, do we stay in or do we go out to kind of wait a second? Well, Cloak and Dagger ulted. They're not really standing in the ult though. Oh, I'm sorry, Blue is your team. So she is standing in the ult. Johnny's helping you with kind of like artillery fire, basically. I would still leave though. I would just kind of dip out for a second, reassess the situation, and try to come back. You see how you didn't accomplish anything within the span of those seconds? Just peace out for a second by walking over here and then use your cooldown on a target and you'd KO them. She would be done. But you're like trying to fight every single second of being in. Think of it as burst. That's how Magik usually plays. Burst, boom. Can I get you in this burst window? No, then I'm gonna back out for a second. And I'm gonna go back in when I feel like I can get you in that burst window. And you keep doing that. Sometimes you'll see these crazy Magik clips that have them stay in. It's not as crazy as you think. They identify if they can keep going because they're like, I can burst, I can burst, I can burst. If you have any doubts where it's like, I can't burst from here with the cooldowns that I have up or with the angle that I'm playing at, then you need to just kind of bail out and come back a little later. That way, when you come back in, you're healthy. This is a prime example. You burst that target, but you're still fighting this guy. Do I need to go out? No, because there's not really any danger to me and I can keep hitting this guy, right? So you can stay in. Do you need to burst this target? No, he's a tank. You can just sit on him. But that's the same type of gameplay you were trying to do for the past 3 minutes and it hasn't been working. And then it worked there. You don't want that play style. You don't want that I will win my games because they don't know how to deal with me and then I will lose my games when they do. I like this. I like this. I like this. Keep going. Go all the way back there. Let's see. I go a little bit further. is like you have to, when you're going for targets, you want to think about like which targets are ideally the easiest to go for. Now, just because they're easy to go for and take out doesn't mean you can get them, but it's something to just keep in mind as a guideline. When you're dealing with Loki, is it easy? No, he'll probably teleport out. He'll probably just straight up fight you 1v1. That's pretty one-shottable, right? So that's a good target. This is not happening. We're not going to mess with this guy. Pretty easily one-shottable. Even though you feel like he counters you, you catch this guy slipping, he's done. Easily one-shottable. So these are the targets that we can catch unaware, and we will still be able to KO them. If you catch a Loki unaware, he will still be able to port out before you do anything. He'll be able to fight you before you do anything, and he's just not dying in one, or he's not KOing in one shot. So let's go back and assess the situation before you even pop out. Can I KO this guy? No. Who's the next target? Star-Lord. Can I KO this guy? Yes. So when we go in, we should think about instantly getting him. What do we do? We lead with the teleport, which we shouldn't do. If you're going to lead with teleport to get the spin cycle cooldown, just kind of do it off the map. So what you could do, the spin cycle, you know, the move. Do it here. And then when you have a few seconds to hold it and then go out. You know what I mean? Instead of trying to like have it be midair. Because that's what you're trying to do. You see? You were trying to pull that off. Just do it over there so that way when you dash in, you're good to go. But you didn't really have a target priority. You just went in. You could have one-shot this guy. I know from experience that Star-Lord doesn't really counter Magik. It might seem like it, but that's just a player gap. But the better character, or the better player usually wins. And the way that Magik wins that is by catching him slipping. Magik doesn't really want to just straight up fight people 1v1 like a traditional brawl style. It might look like she does because she gets an overshield, and when she has a massive overshield she can, but that's not really how she plays. You'll see a lot of good Magik players kind of play her like an assassin and then switch on the brawl switch when they need to. They flip-flop between the two. I like to see you out of vision more often. You see, it's like you 50-50. And if it works, you get the KOs. If it doesn't work, you get KO'd. That is not a great play style, and we gotta do our best to fix that. Again, how we can fix that, slow down, assess the situation, think about which targets are easier to KO, think about how you're gonna do it. Don't just pop out there expecting it to happen. Have the combo in your head and execute. Once you're done, dip out, or assess the situation again. Do you need to leave, or can you continue and roll on to the next target? Yes, keep doing that. Your gameplay right now is like, I go in, I don't really have a combo set that I'm going to use. This is just what I see. It's different if you're thinking about it, but just gameplay wise, it speaks to me that you're kind of just going in without having a combo in mind. And if you KO, you move on to the next target regardless, and the next target regardless. That's how your gameplay like speaks to me. See, you don't really have an out. You just go in and you stay in until you KO. If it works, you get multiple KOs. If it doesn't, you don't. And I'm talking about it so frequently because this is something that's going to prevent you from climbing. You're going to get to a rank where they deal with you. I mean, they kind of already are, which is why you want to use. But you're going to get to a rank when they deal with you, and you're going to start losing. And then you're going to start winning again because you're back to the rank that doesn't know how to deal with you. And then you're going to start losing again. And then you're going to go into a whole cycle of like win, lose, or win 5, lose 5, etc. To break that, you need to improve at these aspects. And I feel like that's the major one that would keep you where you are right now. You see, every time you go in, there is no combo. It's very rare that I see you pop a combo when you decide to go in. Cool, we got the tiebreaker. We're gaming. We're also gaming. Okay, I can't really segue that. I was gonna say we got the tiebreaker. We're gaming, but you can also be gaming if you want to consider becoming a member. Members not only have special perks and whatnot, but they also get their reviews done before everybody else. On top of that, there is some member-only content coming out, So make sure you check that out if you guys are a member. And of course, it helps support the channel greatly. The reason I'm able to do these free reviews is because of the members. So thank you. And if you ever see one in my Discord or even in the comments, just give them a quick thank you, because this is why I can do this. Let's go back to you. Okay, here we go. So we're on defense now. Again, we want to put ourselves in a situation where... are you swapping? No? We're going to put ourselves in a situation where we can come from the side or from behind. We're still frontlining. We're not a tank. We're not Mr. Fantastic. Better. I like this. It's that easy. You didn't even do that on purpose. It was an accident by the way the map was structured. But that's what I'm talking about. Perfect. Can I move on to the next? Yes. Would I have moved on to the tank being next? No. If we go back, you actually had another target right there in front of you. You just didn't take it. Good pick. Next target would be Wanda. You should be stalking that Wanda. Look around where she went to and try to get her. You just forget about the whole situation and you leave her to go. Characters like Magik, Panther, Spider-Man, they excel at picks. So you really need to be focused on them.
We'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner. My soul is stubborn.
Excuse me.
Here, everyone. Hold them off.
You need to be focused on them when you play. That's the main priority. I like that you wait because there's not really much you can do there.
Better stop that vehicle.
Or you come from the front again instead of from the side. You were just over there. You were just hanging around here. Why did we come out and then lead to go forward?
Limbo doesn't let go that easy. Stop them.
Okay.
Better stop that vehicle.
This is better. I mean, you're still coming from the front, but I like how you came from this way instead of like with your team. But you popped out too early, so they knew exactly where you were, and then you went right back to your team. You go back in, have a target set up. You're always going in with no target in mind. You just like go for the squishies, but like you don't really go for the right squishies. You just go. Have a target in mind. If we were assessing this situation, who's easy to KO? Is it going to be the Scarlet Witch, the Cloak and Dagger, or the Invisible Woman? It's going to be the Invisible Woman. So we should be on her. We go after the Scarlet Witch who has a teleport. The reason why we could have went on her over there on point the first time is because we saw her use it already. We could follow her. But with this, we don't know if she has it. Luckily, we get away with it. But in situations like that, you might not know. Looks like that's a game. Looks like you guys can hold it, right? Oh no, they still kept pushing? Oh, that's wild. Did they just get to 6 points?
Now might be a good time to stop them. They hit a checkpoint. Now might be a good time to stop them.
Oh, okay, you guys stopped them. Cause I was like, what? All right, you stopped them. Let's move on to us pushing.
The battle starts in 5.
He's opening a portal.
To the mission area. Only 60 seconds left.
Same exact concept. We want to identify who we're going for. Go for that target. Try to KO that target with a pick. Okay, you did your combo. Can we stay in or do we need to leave? I think right now you could stay in and try to KO that Invisible Woman until someone starts looking at you. She dipped out. You already knew that Starlord was actually focusing you at this point in time, so I would dip out. I wouldn't even try to go for a KO. Instead of leaving, you just decide to stay in and gamble. And you end up in a bad spot every time.
30 seconds. I climbed out of limbo.
I love her voice actor. Bro, I hate Magik with a passion. Like, I hate going against her, but I love her voice actor so much. Right, you assess the situation, you go for the next target. I mean, you didn't really assess it, but that's, again, what you want to do. It's so coin flippy. It's so 50-50. If you can get this stuff under control, you'd be a really, really good Magik player. Like, you would be winning a lot of games. But because you're so 50-50, because it works sometimes and it doesn't, your matches are going to be 50-50. Survive this! You can't really do much here just because you ulted when they had all their ults. So there's not really much you can do. If you would have just saved your ult, then you could have played after their ults ran out. So in a situation like that, especially when dealing with an aggressive DPS that needs to ult, just wait for them to ult and then you ult after. I climbed out of limbo. I sound bad. I'm sorry. That was a horrible voice acting job, but it just makes me want to say it. For the most part, for this gameplay, what I would focus on is just my timing, my angles of where I'm approaching, my target priorities, why am I going for this target, and then assessing if I can stay in the fight or if I need to leave the fight. Those things right there are what's keeping you where you are, and it's not your fault. This is something that Magics go through, Black Panther, Spider-Man, Iron Fist, Wolverines, anything that, even they don't even have to be DPS, but there's characters in this game that allow players to bypass how to play the game at a fundamental level. And until they get to a rank that will destroy them for not knowing how to do that, they won't lose, or they'll win more than they lose. Again, you're not the only one. It happens to a lot of people because these characters are very, they're very strong. So that's what's happening here. But I believe in you, and I think you can do this. Those are the things that I'd focus on. Thank you for watching. I do appreciate it. And of course, to anybody who wants to help support the channel, as I said before, consider becoming a member. This is why I can do free stuff like this. And I also have some other stuff coming your way too, viewers. So check that out. Make sure you pay attention to my member posts, or not member posts, but my viewer posts on my channel. Thank you guys for watching. And until next time, you know what I always say. If you guys are doing what? Pop on often. We'll often.